Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Filip Hrgovic defeats David Aleleye in a 10-round decision at heavyweight. Going into this fight, when it was made, I was kind of surprised it was made, to tell you the truth. Kind of a fight that came out of left field. And going in, my thoughts were basically, it's a stay busy fight for Filip Hrgovic, and for David Aleleye, it's a big step up, but a risk worth taking. Because again, really it's a no-lose situation because he wasn't supposed to win this fight at the end of the day. And in fact, when you look at it, really, I think it was a risk worth taking because I think to a degree Adelaye's stock will have risen after this fight. Number one, the fight was surprisingly entertaining. Actually very entertaining in parts. Aleleye showed some good toughness, etc. Still a lot of deficiencies, he's never going to be anywhere close to world level, but one of those guys you can stick in fun fights on an undercard of a big show, and, I think that's where his future lies kind of thing. Hrgovic, he's going to get criticism for this performance because ultimately, levels above Aleleye in terms of amateur pedigree, experience, height and reach, etc. Much better boxer all round. He's going to get criticised for the performance, but, he was cut very badly early on, which, may have affected that performance. First round, I felt Hrgovic looked pretty light on his feet. Good bounce in his step, firing straight punches, which is Hrgovic's game. Likes to fight behind the jab and fire the straight right behind it, like a loose straight right hand. And he was moving quite well, he was looking fluid, and outworked Aleleye in round one. Round two was more of the same. Hrgovic, when it was at distance, he was always getting the best of it. Aleleye really was kind of tense and trying to load up with his big left hook or a big overhand left. But, he was getting outpointed really. But in round two, Aleleye did land a really good counter jab, which caused a really bad cut over Hrgovic's right eye, I believe it was. Really, really bad cut, and, I've seen fights get stopped for less cuts, to be fair, so credit to the referee for allowing this one to continue. But still, regardless of the cut, I felt Hrgovic won the second round. I think he won every single round in this fight, Hrgovic, basically. But there were moments where Aleleye had success. I've got to say, though, end of round two, Hrgovic gets back to the corner. Abel Sanchez, his trainer, while doing the team talk, he patches up Hrgovic's cut. Really, really good job by Abel Sanchez. I think he was the MVP when it comes to Hrgovic in this fight. Did a really good job on the cut. Also, I will say as well, I felt Hrgovic looked a little fitter in this fight in terms of he was throwing more punches. His body looked a little better. Not quite as flabby, not quite as fleshy. So credit to Sanchez for at least getting Hrgovic back into better shape. Third round, Hrgovic kind of resumed what he was doing in rounds 1 and 2. Firing the 1-2 uppercut through the middle. He was starting to mix body shots in there as well. Trying to show some different variation. The problem with Hrgovic is he fights in the same rhythm all the time. So while it kind of looks a little smooth when he throws those combos, you can time him. And Aleleye did towards the end of the third round, and it buzzed Hrgovic. That was pretty much the only shot of consequence Aleleye landed in the third round, but the shot had an effect. So it kind of reminded you that Aleleye, yeah, he's limited. Yeah, he's getting severely outworked, outboxed, but if he can land one shot, he can cause some trouble. But, aside from that one punch, Aleleye was severely outworked, and that was the case throughout the every single round, more or less. Aleleye would have pockets of success where he would land a good chopping right or a good left hook, but Adelaye's success primarily was single shots, and there was a lot of time in between these moments of success. But Hrgovic was fighting in a decent enough rhythm considering the circumstances. Aleleye was trying to cover up, trying to catch and counter with his left hook, but I felt Aleleye at times was too reluctant to let go of that shot. I felt he should have taken more risks earlier in the fight, especially considering the state of Hrgovic's eye. And he was just getting outboxed, and then round 8 happened. He was buzzed by a big right hand, Aleleye, He kind of done some showboating, stuck his tongue out, screamed. Then straight away after, Hrgovic lands another big right hand. It drops Aleleye, and at that point I thought he was done. But Aleleye beats the count and goes to war with Hrgovic. Lands a big right hand that backs up Hrgovic. Then he opens up with like a 10-punch combination. Left hook, right hook kind of thing. Really rocking the head back of Hrgovic. And at a time, it looked like Hrgovic might go down. He was badly hurt in round 8. But Hrgovic held on. He got through it. And he saw out round 8. After round 8, where he had a bit of trouble, regained composure, boxing behind the jab, backing up Aleleye. Aleleye had his back against the ropes, back in the corner, looking for one shot while covering up, and Hrgovic was just able to step aside, step around, pick off with the jab, straight right, etc. And, it was the quintessential Hrgovic performance in the sense of there's moments of like smooth boxing, there's moments of like quality, but he is a bit monotonous at times. He is a bit one-paced at times. Not one-paced, but, well, yeah, he kind of fights in the same rhythm over and over and over again. And there's no dynamism in his work. There's no, he pushes with his punches. It's a lot of arm punches. Again, that allowed him to throw a lot of punches, but he's just missing that thing, He's missing that bit of dynamism is all I can say. But he won the fight. Again, I scored it. I scored every round for Hrgovic personally, but he got the W and he can move on from this. He retains his ranking, top 10, top 15 heavyweight in the world. So listen, Hrgovic, for me personally, I'd love to see him in there with Fabio Wardley. Hrgovic has deficiencies, Wardley has deficiencies. That would be a great fight, man. That would be a great fight. Both guys are open for the overhand right. Both guys carry low lead hands. Wardley's a bigger puncher, but Hrgovic throws more punches, and we saw how badly Wardley was struggling with the pace against Justice Hooney until he bailed himself out. I think Wardley versus Hrgovic would be a great fight, a fight in which either guy could win. Hrgovic could drown Wardley and kind of wear him out, but I think Wardley could knock out Filip Hrgovic. I think Wardley Hrgovic is the fight to make, to be honest with you. I think that's the fight to make for both guys. As for David Aleleye, again, I don't think his reputation's been harmed at all with this fight. Was supposed to lose, but he lost quite well. For him, though, I think he should go back down to British level, make a defence or two of his British heavyweight title, maybe fight TKV again and avenge that, and then go from there, But he can definitely come back at domestic level. But yeah, decent fight. Surprisingly decent fight. I enjoyed it for what it was. Exceeded my expectations. So there we go. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.